Donald Trump and Jerome Powell might be getting ready to pump Bitcoin as soon as next week. Let's take a look at today's Bitcoin update and go over what exactly is happening in the crypto markets. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about Bitcoin every single day. Bitcoin to $1 million is a reality that will probably be something that we all experience in our lifetime, ideally within the next 5 to 10 years. On this channel, we showcase Bitcoin's journey, going through a bunch of things like ETF inflows, companies, corporations, and countries buying up Bitcoin, everything that you need to know to remain bullish and understand the vision and be orange pilled. If you do like this type of content and you're a Bitcoin holder, all I ask is that you leave a like, subscribe down below, and if anyone needs to understand why Bitcoin is bullish, this should be the channel that you send. Okay, now let's talk about Bitcoin at $91,000. Very freaking bullish here. We're seeing some amazing movement in the markets today, which is crazy because I mean, literally yesterday, we saw absolute blood in the markets, right? We actually flash crashed all the way down to about $84,000. And now we've added, just a bunch more money into Bitcoin, which is pretty cool to see. Now, overall, guys, Bitcoin is down 16, about 17% the past month, which, makes a lot of sense. We had one of the worst Novembers in history for Bitcoin. And one thing I will say as well, guys, is it's interesting because take a look at the 1 year chart, Bitcoin is now only down about 4%. So will we see a reversal? Will we see Bitcoin flip bullish on the 1 year? We're only going to have to wait and find out. Now let's talk about Powell and Donald Trump. So President Trump calls for the English. Uh, federal, uh, President Trump calls for the Federal Reserve to cut rates next week. Even Diamond said Powell should cut rates. Now, basically, guys, we already know what this means, right? So cutting interest rates effectively is bullish for the markets, and we've seen a bunch of flip-flopping as well. So a couple of weeks ago, it was pretty much an 80 plus percentage that we were going to see a rate cut in December. Then it actually randomly went down to like 20%. Then it went back up. And literally in an hour and a half from now at 2 p.m. EST today, Donald Trump is going to make a important announcement. Not too sure what it's going to be about. Might be about the markets, might be about some tariffs. Regardless, be prepared for volatility today, depending on how severe it is. But if Jerome Powell does actually cut rates, and it seems like we are going to see rates getting cut in December. This is going to be pretty bullish. Okay, now 91,000 Bitcoin has been hit today, so a lot of people are celebrating. But like I said, we might even see 92 right now. But like I said, I do expect a bit of volatility today, okay? Now, something very interesting, Saudi Arabia found 11 million tons of gold, which is actually ridiculous. Iran also just found another 60 million tons. And again, this all happened pretty much today. A massive 60 million ton gold deposit in eastern Khorasan, which is interesting because, guys, you can keep on finding gold, and yes, gold is a scarce asset, but Bitcoin is a finite asset, guys. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin in circulation, and to even make that a bit sweeter, about 1 to 2 million Bitcoin actual coins are essentially lost forever. So 19 million Bitcoin out there, which is pretty cool to see. Now, this is insane. So the Bank of America now recommends a 4% Bitcoin and crypto allocation to wealth management clients. Imagine hearing this 5 years ago. And guys, it is very close to my 5 years in crypto, literally a couple months left. When I first got into crypto, I mean, I myself, when I first heard about it, I was like, yeah, this is bullshit. It's money made out of nothing. There's nothing backing it. It's not like a company or like a stock where there's like revenue and stuff. I never really understood it, right? And it's crazy to think that the banks would literally like not even offer crypto as a service or as something that you could actually purchase, but now they're actually recommending people to buy Bitcoin and crypto. I mean, the way that this is moving is insane. Another huge piece of news from the corpse, Grayscale, which I believe is a massive trust or massive fund, they are now saying that Bitcoin could set a new all-time high in 2026 as the 4 year cycle model breaks. Now, whether the 4 year cycle model has officially broken or not, it is a bit too early to say. Me personally, I do think it is over, but regardless, if we see new all-time highs in 2026, this is going to be amazing, guys. I would be very happy and excited. Now, Bitcoin supply on exchanges has now fallen to a new low, which does mean that there is going to be a supply shock. And guys, as the years continue and as more people try to buy Bitcoin, we are going to see supply on exchanges are going to consistently be dropping, and the demand is going to outpace supply. Remember, guys, there's only about 19 million Bitcoin that is out there to be purchased. And guys, that means that not even every millionaire will be able to own Bitcoin. So guys, lots of bullish news coming up. And guys, if you are enjoying the channel, all I ask, like I said, is you leave a like, subscribe down below. And yeah, guys, that is it for today. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.